What do you do when the two people you trust most in the world stab you right in the back? Do you cry? Do you scream? Do you just pack up and walk away? No. I didn't do any of that. When I found out my wife of 4 years and my absolute best friend, the guy I called my brother, were betraying me in my own house, I didn't shed a single tear. I quietly lit a match, and over the next 8 months, I burned their lives, their careers, and their bank accounts straight to the ground. This isn't just some petty revenge. This was absolute nuclear destruction. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and listen closely. Because the trap I set for them, it's better than any movie. My name's David. My wife, let's call her Sarah, and I had what I thought was a perfect marriage. And my buddy Mark, we went to college together. We even built a software startup from the ground up that was pulling in millions. Mark was family. But they say the worst betrayals always come from the ones closest to you. One night, Sarah was in the shower. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. The screen lit up. It was a text from Mark. It just said, "I can still taste you. Can't wait for tomorrow." My heart just stopped. My blood ran completely cold. I picked up her phone with shaking hands. They had been sleeping together for 6 months. 6 months. He was buying her expensive jewelry with the money from our company. They were doing it in my own bed whenever I flew out for business trips. I felt sick to my stomach. I wanted to kick the door down. I wanted to drive over to Mark's and just destroy him. But I stopped myself. I knew if I blew up right then, they'd lawyer up, take half my house, and steal my share of the company. I couldn't just get mad. I had to get even. So I put the phone exactly back where it was. The next day, the plan went into motion. I acted perfectly normal. I even brought Sarah flowers. I went to the office and gave Mark a hug like he was still my brother. But behind their backs, I was digging their graves. First, I installed tiny, hidden micro cameras in the living room and the hallway. Everything syncs directly to my private, encrypted cloud server. I recorded every disgusting moment, every kiss, every whisper, every single text. I backed it all up on multiple USB drives. Then came the money. Sarah and I had a joint savings account. Quietly, bit by bit, I opened an offshore account and started bleeding our joint account dry, transferring small, untraceable amounts so the bank wouldn't flag it. But Mark was the real problem. He owned 40% of our company. I couldn't just fire him, so I did a deep dive into the company financials. And man, did I hit the jackpot. Mark was embezzling company funds to pay for his lavish lifestyle and his secret dates with my wife. He had stolen over $150,000. Boom. I had the kill shot. I anonymously forwarded all the evidence to the IRS and the FBI. Now, I just had to wait for the perfect moment. 8 months later, it was Sarah's birthday. I threw a massive, expensive dinner party at our house. Her entire family was there. Her parents, our co-workers, and of course, Mark. Everyone was drinking, laughing, having a great time. I grabbed a spoon, tapped my glass to get everyone's attention, and smiled. "I'd like to play a special video tribute," I said, "for my beautiful wife and my best friend in the entire world, Mark." Sarah was blushing. Mark was grinning like an idiot. I pressed the button on the remote. But it wasn't a slideshow of our vacations. The massive 70-inch TV lit up with high-def hidden camera footage of Mark and Sarah on our couch, fully exposed. The text messages they sent each other were scrolling across the bottom of the screen. The entire house went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Sarah's mother let out a horrified scream. Sarah dropped her wine glass. It shattered all over the hardwood floor. She was physically shaking. Mark's face turned completely white, like a ghost. I looked right at her and said, "Happy birthday, Sarah. The divorce papers are on the kitchen counter." "And our joint account? It's completely empty," Mark snapped. He lunged at me, but right at that exact second, the front door swung open. Heavy footsteps. 2 federal agents walked into the dining room. They weren't there for the cheating. They slapped handcuffs on Mark right in front of everyone for federal wire fraud and tax evasion. As they dragged him out, I leaned in close and whispered, "Shh. Have fun in prison, buddy." The next morning, I secured my shares before the company took a hit. Mark was convicted of fraud, completely bankrupted by legal fees, and sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. Sarah, her own parents refused to let her move back in. Because of our prenup and the drained accounts, she didn't get a single dime from me. Last I heard, she's working double shifts at a rundown diner just to make rent. They wanted to play games with my life, so I made sure they didn't have lives left to play with. If you loved this nuclear revenge story, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and stay tuned for more insane true stories. And remember, always keep an eye on your best friends.